Okay, one more time. We were talking last time about improvising, and I was making the point that if you are improvising a song whose chords are the natural chords of the scale, and if you played the notes of the scale over these chords, that everything should go along pretty well. But if you brought in notes from outside of the scale, these outside notes are likely to clash with the scale tone chords. And I began to talk about, I mentioned the G Hirajoshi pentatonic scale, whose notes are G, G sharp, C, D, D sharp. Now, I'm going to play them here for you, but because of the particular situation I find myself in, where I just have this one little microphone, this one little webcam, and I've got to try to capture, especially here with the song, I got to try to capture my voice, capture the instrument, and capture a backing track, which I will be playing shortly. It poses a technical problem. So I'm not going to be able to turn my instrument here because, you know, I like to demonstrate on a stringed instrument, even though I cannot play one very well. But, so I'm not going to be able to turn the camera around here to go back between myself and the instrument. Let me play the notes of the G Hirajoshi pentatonic scale for you, and hope that the camera picks it up. See, those notes are G, G sharp, C, D, D sharp, G. Now, if you were going to use this scale to improvise over the G scale, where you are going to have chords from the G scale, as long as you played the G note, the C note, the D note, and back at the G note again, because a pentatonic scale only has 5 notes. See, as long as you play those notes, right, those notes are going to harmonize with the G chord, the G scale chords that you're playing. But if you begin to introduce the other 2 notes from the Hirajoshi scale, which would be the G sharp and the D sharp, you're going to find out that these notes are not going to sit very well with the chords. They're going to sound whatever word you want to fit in there. They're going to crunch, they're going to sound bad, whatever words you want to use. So, but there's a way to use these notes, which is what I'm going to come to here before we close. I'm going to try to turn on the backing track and hope that it'll come out, you'll be able to hear it, and let's try it out. Okay, here you have the G chord being played. Okay, now as long as you would play G scale notes with this chord, everything is going to be alright. Let me try playing some. hope you're hearing it. Okay? Now, suppose we just start to play some two of these notes from the G hierarchy scale. Let's hear how they're going to sound. Look. Okay, or if we were to play some other notes from outside the scale, like C sharp, look. Okay, you hear how they're sounding. But, you see, there is a way to play these outside notes of the scale, and that is to just tiptoe on them. So, suppose I was going to play these three notes, and back in track, right? Okay, I could play the D sharp, but this is how I'm going to play. What? Listen. See that? Tiptoe on it. Touch it lightly. I'm not going to dwell on it. Suppose I was to dwell on it. Suppose I was to play it like this. Yeah? See how it goes in there? That's your note. But tiptoe on it, see? Okay, beginning to catch on? Good. Let me first of all cut out this noise. Hope that the stuff is going to come out. You'll be able to hear what I was talking about and so on and so forth and so on. Try to shut that down. Okay. Now, of course, you know, we have 10 minutes. I'm not using any sidebar notes. We've got just over 2 minutes there, so I don't want to get into a new topic that we can't go. Just let me say that when you're improvising, you are going to have to use some notes from outside of the scale. Otherwise, your improvisation is, not going to be very interesting. But there is a way to use those outside notes, which I just demonstrated, which is just a tiptoe on them. See? So, the important thing is this, at all times, look, this is your answer here, your ear, okay? Your ear always tells you if the note you play is right or wrong, or good or bad, or whatever words you want to use. So, when you're improvising, in fact, you can use all notes. But some notes, and these are principally going to be the notes from the outside of the scale, you have to use them very gingerly. You have just a touch on them, just a tiptoe on them. As I demonstrated just now, I just hope that with this particular setup that I have here, that you will be able to hear it and you'll be able to understand what I say. Okay, so I'm going to close down here now. And then I'm going to, next video that follows this, we are going to discuss some various improvisational techniques, various approaches that you can use to improvising, and we will just carry on. I'm trying to do it easily, simply, softly, slowly. I hope you're getting something out of it. Time is up. Gotta go. Over now.